Hey, what's going on guys? It's FPL Yusuf here and welcome back to another video on my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to bring you guys my Game Week 16 transfer targets. In this video I'm going to take a look at how we're currently getting on in Game Week 15. I'm going to go over what my free transfers are looking like for this week. And I have already confirmed two of them. Of course, we have the 5 free transfers now, so we've got a lot to talk about around that. I'm going to show you guys what my watch list is looking like for the upcoming game week, as well as a few weeks after, so we can take a look at who the best players to bring in are. And of course, I'll show you what an early team selection is looking like for my squad as well. So I do hope you guys enjoy this video. If you do, please don't forget to drop a thumbs up and subscribe down below. And as always, let's just jump straight into it. Okay, welcome back guys. Thank you so much for being here with me today on my YouTube channel for another video. So just to timestamp this one quickly before we start, it is currently Monday morning, so we still do have one game left to play. That is Manchester United against Wolves. Obviously, I have Bruno Fernandes. A lot of people will have probably Bruno and Buemo, those type of players. Some might have Cunha. So my score on screen, as you see right now, that I'll put a little asterisk next to the points. It's just from where we are over the weekend. Obviously, we still have tonight to go. So that will update our final rank. I'll try and keep it as close to it as I can. But yeah, just if you guys see a little asterisk in the top left of the scoreboard, that is the reason why. So let's take a look at how the team got on so far in this game week. So we'll start off in goal. Donnarumma kept his clean sheet this week, which was a big thing. I was actually a little bit worried about that. Obviously, Sunderland have had a really good season so far, you know, and Man City haven't really been that great defensively, but he did manage to keep his clean sheet. So 6 points to start us off, which was really nice. Onto the defence, we had the double Crystal Palace players who played yesterday. Unfortunately lost their clean sheet. Munoz didn't play at all, which means we are getting a little bit lucky. We're getting an 8 point from Senesi coming off the bench, so we'll take that one. Chris Richards only got 4 points, you know, did hit the DEFCONs. Unfortunately, they did lose their clean sheet, but this is why I like Chris Richards as an asset. He's so good for accumulating DEFCON, you know, and he's so cheap as well. So yeah, overall really happy with that. Dan Burn, I did get very fortunate with this one as well. He got 7 points, so he got 6 points for his clean sheet. He got subbed off in the 63rd minute, and of course Newcastle did concede in the 94th minute, which not only did wipe out the rest of the clean sheet for everyone else, but it also pushed Dan Burn into bonus points. So I'm very fortunate with that one. 7 points from him. Overall, the defense really happy with how they performed this week. Then we come to the midfield. Elliot Anderson, 4 points. Unfortunately, I did have Declan Rice on the bench. It was a little bit of a toss-up as to who I was going to start, but you know, not really, you know, a massive swing in terms of one or the other. So yeah, Anderson with 4. Bruno Guimaraes, 10 points. Yet again, getting us another goal. A little bit fortunate from a corner, but you know, this is why we have him in there. You know, we said in the big games, there's opportunities for DEFCONs. In this, you know, the quote-unquote easier fixtures, there's a chance for assists and goals, and this is why we had him. So yeah, really happy with that return. Phil Foden, the man we brought in this week, again, another goal, another assist, just 12 points again. Massive haul from him. I think if you haven't got him, I'd highly recommend going picking him up now. I know he's had a few price rises and obviously he's had a few hauls, but don't be put off by that because, you know, he still is a fantastic asset. Obviously, Man City's fixtures coming up as okay still. So yeah, he's on a really good run of form at the moment. Bruno Fernandes, like I said, we still got to play tonight, so we don't know what the outcome of him is. The forward line, however, absolutely terrible. Blanks from all three of them, 2, 2 and 4. And the only reason it's 4 from Haaland is just because he was captain. Welbeck again, 2 points. I'm seriously considering about moving him out. Mateta has already been moved out. I moved him out Saturday night, which I'm going to talk about in the next section. So yeah, overall defense and midfield, you know, over the last few weeks haven't been that great, but we fixed that and they are starting to churn out points. It's the forward line that I think we really need to take a look at now. I'm going to get into that with what my transfer plans are. Okay, so like I said, I have confirmed 2 transfers already, and I did this Saturday night, and the reason why there was a lot of price changes happening Saturday night, obviously, because we all are topped up to 5 free transfers now. My one advice is to everyone, and I don't usually recommend this, but just keep an eye on transfers because you may have to move early on certain players. So first transfer we made straight off the bat was Mateta out and Igor Thiago in. Mateta was dropping Saturday night and Thiago was going up, so that would have been a 0.2 million swing. So I just made that transfer there and then. Mateta's been so underwhelming over the last few weeks. You know, he's a minutes risk. He's not performing well. I don't know if it's just fatigue catching up with him. Obviously, you know, he's playing pretty much most games at the moment with Palace's European competitions as well. So maybe that's what it is. But I just think Igor Thiago leads at home this week, Wolves away next week. As a short-term punt, I think he's just a fantastic option. He's on penalties, of course. And, you know, for me, like I said, he was going to go up in price. Mateta was going to drop. So I just had to make that change. Timber was the second man that I brought in. Now, again, he went up on Saturday night, Sunday morning. So I had to get him in. Now, I was sort of contemplating about which defender to move. And actually, as we'll come to in a minute, you can probably see on screen now, there is actually a few defenders that I'm looking to move out with these 5 free transfers. So I did decide to go with Senesi. He was flagged. Obviously, Bournemouth forgot Burnley in 18 now. Senesi's injury might be, you know, nothing at all. But the reason why I didn't move Chalobah out was that Chalobah was going to be rising over, you know, either Sunday night / Monday morning, which he did do. So I wanted to catch that price rise first before I potentially moved him out, just to gain that little extra 0.1 million. So I moved Senesi out, brought Timber in for 6.5. caught him before he hit that price point. So yeah, those are the 2 free transfers that I've already made. So I have used 2 out of the 5 already. Gameweek well could see me use 3 or 4. I would say I would at least keep 1. And the reason why I'd say at least keep 1 is that next week, obviously Gameweek 17, you want to roll that over. So then you have 2. And then I would say just try and start building. Now, I always think having, around sort of game week 19 to 21, 22 is always a good sign to have transfers in the bank. So it's not necessarily that you have to keep all these 5 now. You can use them, which is probably what I'm going to end up doing. But I think from, sort of 16, 17, 18, 19 onwards, I would probably just try and roll as much as you possibly can, which is why these transfers that you're making now are so crucial to setting your team up for those sort of 3-4 weeks, so you can just carry on rolling and get yourself as close to 5 as possible. So let's take a look at some of the other transfers that I'm looking to make. Like I said, I did wait for Chalobah to go up in price. Now, he's actually been okay this season for me. Obviously, he had an 11-pointer, which was on the bench. I wasn't expecting that. I thought that Bournemouth would score at home. The player that I'm looking to move him out for is Hincapié. Now, Hincapié's got Wolves at home this week. The reason why I've gone for him is Calafiori is suspended, so which means Miles Lewis-Kelly's probably going to play left back. Saliba, I would assume, would be back. Now, if Saliba is back, I can only see Timber moving to right back. I think with Mosquera being out till January, Gabriel looking like he's going to be out till January, Hincapié as a left-footed centre-half for Arsenal will probably be starting most game weeks. He's 5.4, which means he's the cheapest route into the Arsenal defence. But he's also very good for DEFCON as well. He's hit it, the last few times he's been out there. So, yeah, for me, I think that's one transfer that I'm looking to make. I'm just deciding whether or not it's worth a transfer this week with Chalobah playing Everton at home. Now, Everton, they're a good side. Chelsea are a good side as well. You just never know with Chelsea, and Chalobah's been very good for me, it's worth me saying, but it is something that I am possibly considering making that move for. Another defender transfer that I'm looking to make is obviously moving Chris Richards out. Now, I do have Daniel Munoz, but I probably am going to keep him. So he was ruled out, it's supposedly with an ankle injury. We'll have to wait and see how bad that is. But if it comes out that Munoz is going to be out for longer, then of course I will just move him out. The initial transfers that I'm looking to make for him is either Joachim Andersen from Fulham or Nathan Collins from Brentford. Now, I'm not sure which one I want to go with yet. Obviously, Collins, I would say, is probably a little bit better for DEFCON than Andersen, but Andersen maybe has a little bit more higher chance of a clean sheet. So it's a little bit of a toss-up, but I do think one of the Crystal Palaces, either Munoz or Richards, will be leaving my team to make that potential transfer this week. Elliot Anderson is another one that I'm looking to take out, but I probably will just leave him for now. The reason why is because I'm looking at Harry Wilson from Fulham. Obviously, got a nice, good run of fixtures over the next few weeks. But I am also looking at Kieran Dewsbury-Hall. Obviously, after this week, Iliman Ndiaye is going to be going to AFCON, which means I think Dewsbury-Hall will probably have a little bit more of an attacking role to play in this side. And at 5 million, he's a valuable asset. I just don't know if now is the time to bring him in. Obviously, they're playing Chelsea, they're playing Arsenal. From game week 18 is when their fixtures become really nice. So there is a potential that I bring Wilson in for sort of 3 weeks, which ironically, his good fixture runs out in 18 as well. So I could always make that transition. It almost just feels like a little bit of an overkill though, because you're almost using an extra transfer to do that. So I'm not really too sure if I'm going to 100% commit to that. And the final transfer that I'm looking to make is Danny Welbeck. This guy he scored 1 goal for me in the 4 weeks I've owned him, but he's just really frustrating me at the moment. Now, the hard part is I don't think there's really a plethora of strikers that are putting their hands up to say, yeah, pick me. So it's kind of difficult as to who you're going to go for. A bit like how I just spoke about the Harry Wilson and Dewsbury-Hall move, where you keep one for a couple of weeks and then bring to the other one. I'm actually looking at doing that with Raul Jimenez and Jared Bowen. So Raul Jimenez over the next 3 weeks, obviously Fulham have got really good fixtures on paper. Muniz is out until the new year, which means Jimenez is probably going to end up playing 90 minutes in most games anyway. He will probably be on penalties. I can't say that for certain, but I would imagine so he would be. Not that Fulham are going to get a lot anyway, but I think that, with the upcoming fixtures that they have, I do like him as a pick. And of course, from game week 17, 18, Jared Bowen does a little swing of fixtures where his fixtures become really nice. So that is also a potential move there. So a lot to think about. I think I probably will end up using definitely 3. I think that Hincapié move I will end up doing if it's either for Munoz or for Trevor Chalobah. But I am also looking at making a 4th one as well. Right, so let's take a look at my watch list. And this is only for this week, but it's also for the next few weeks after this as well. So don't worry if you're thinking that these are all 1 week punts, they're not. It's for the short term, which is this coming game week, but also 17, 18 and onwards after as well. So first 1 and 2 for the defence, we've got the 2 Arsenal boys, Jurriën Timber and Hincapié. Timber for me, because I think he's guaranteed to play. I think either he'll play right back or centre back, so he will play either one. And obviously, if he's at right back, he's got a great chance of attacking threat. If he's at centre back, very good for DEFCON as well. So yeah, Timber for me is that number 1 spot. Hincapié is in at number 2, just a cheaper route into the Arsenal defence than everyone else. A transfer which I probably will end up making myself as well. So something that, especially for this starting week, start for Wolves at home is a great fixture. You'd imagine Arsenal will keep a clean sheet in that. But also, even their fixtures after this game week for the next 3 or 4, they're not amazing on paper, but they're also, you wouldn't be surprised if Arsenal came out with sort of 3 or 4 clean sheets out of the next 3 or 4 games. So yeah, for me, the 2 Arsenal boys up at number 1 and 2. Got Joachim Andersen in at number 3. He's a short-term punt, but the next 3 game weeks, I've got fantastic fixtures. He's got Burnley, he's got the likes of Nottingham Forest, so there is clean sheet potential as well as DEFCON. In at number 4, I've got Nathan Collins, a little bit similar to Joachim Andersen. The only reason why he's not higher is that Brentford have only got the next 2, which are nice, Leeds and Wolves. Leeds at home is I don't really know where to stand on it. Obviously, Leeds have been really, really good over the last few weeks, but they've been really, really good when they're at home. When they're away, I don't know how they're going to perform. And obviously, Nathan Collins, for me, very good for DEFCON. So he's got high upside. If he keeps the clean sheet, he's probably going to end up getting DEFCON in that game, which could push him into bonus as well. So he's one of those players that could end up getting you a 10, 11 pointer from a clean sheet. So yeah, for me, I do like him as a high upside. The only reason why I've got him at 4th and Anderson at 3rd is just because Anderson has an extra week of good fixtures. And last up is Ezri Konsa. This one is maybe more for this week. West Ham, I think Aston Villa, they're unbeaten in their last 9 or 10. I think they've won the last 5, 6 in a row. So they are in a really good run of form, despite how they started the season. So yeah, I do like Ezri Konsa. I think he's a fair price as well, and someone that is a major differential right now too. Okay, so then we come on to the midfielders. I have got Declan Rice above Phil Foden. They are my 1 and 2. The reason why I've gone for Rice just above is 1, because he's got Wolves at home this week, but 2, he's a lot cheaper than Phil Foden. So I think, in terms of explosivity, that's definitely Phil Foden that you'd probably want to go on for. But if you're looking for consistency and someone who you can just put in your team, set and forget, they're going to play 90 minutes, Declan Rice has been achieving more DEFCON as well. Obviously, Arsenal, if they get a clean sheet, that's an extra point for him. So, yeah, I think Rice has just got that top spot, but Foden is very, very, very close behind with this purple patch that he's in. I've gone for Morgan Rogers in at number 3. Now, again, like I said, maybe this one is more of a little, very much short-term option. West Ham, he's getting good minutes as he always does. Like I said, Aston Villa are on a very good run at the moment where they're winning games, they're scoring goals as well. So, yeah, he looks like a great asset to own. Harry Wilson in at number 4. He's been fantastic for Fulham over the last sort of 3-4 game weeks. He's been getting, 8s, 9s, 10s, and he looks really, really good. And obviously, with Fulham's fixtures over the next 3 game weeks, you could see that continuing to go on. I think he's a great price if you're looking around the sort of Elliot Anderson, Moises Caicedo, Dewsbury Hall price point. I think he's fantastic value for money. And, if you're looking for a short-term pump for the next 2-3 game weeks, I really do like him. He's on some set pieces as well. He looks quite influential when he does play for Fulham. So yeah, I think Harry Wilson for me is a great option, and that's why he's in there at number 4. Number 5, I have gone for Rayan Cherki. I was going to put Kevin Schade in this list, but obviously he's suspended for this game week. So Rayan Cherki is in there, very cheap. The one thing I would say is just be mindful of his minutes. Obviously, he doesn't play 90 a lot, but he is a high explosive player, and he is someone that, before he gets subbed off, could leave the pitch with, a goal, 2 assists, 2 goals, 1 assist, that type of thing. So yeah, he's a little bit more of a punty pick, but I do like him nonetheless. He's looking like he's in good form, and he's got explosive high upside too. And on to the forwards. Now, the forwards are really lacking at this moment. Erling Haaland, of course, is going to be number 1. We don't really need to talk too much about him. Igor Thiago's in at number 2, especially for the short term. Leeds at home, Wolves away. On paper, it's fantastic fixtures. He's a penalty taker from Brentford, and I do really like him. I think he's great value for money too. In at number 3, I've got Raul Jimenez. Again, same thing as Igor Thiago a little bit, just a better short-term run of fixtures. I would assume he's on penalties, which obviously, if you're looking to bring me in like I am myself, I think he could offer, a decent return of points. Is probably going to be playing a lot up front for Fulham as Muniz is injured. So my minutes for him isn't too much of a risk right now. Richarlison in at number 4. Now, I do think that there will be a rotation with Richarlison and with Spurs in general, obviously with Kolo Muani, Xavi Simons playing quite high up the pitch as well. So I wouldn't bet my house on that he's going to get 90 minutes, but I do think that he has got quite high upside. And he is scoring goals for Spurs at the moment. He seems to be the only one that is consistently getting something from them. So yeah, definitely something to watch, and also a major differential there. And last but not least, a very, very big differential. I've gone for Ollie Watkins. Now, as you can see, there's a little bit of theme of Aston Villa at the moment. They are on a good run of form, and I always think when a team or players are on a good run of form, sometimes you just have to jump on that wave, like we have done with Phil Foden, and just ride it until they start blanking, until they get dropped, until they get rested, so on and so on. So yeah, for me, Ollie Watkins gets in there at number 5. A very, very much a big punt, but Aston Villa have got a decent fixture this week, and they are looking in really good form. And let's take a look at what my early team is looking like. And obviously, like I said, I have made 2 transfers. Donnarumma is in goal. He'll probably be in goal for me for the next couple of weeks. I probably will look to transition to Jordan Pickford in game week 18. So I don't really want to waste a transfer on taking Donnarumma out now. I'll just leave him in there. Whatever he gets, he gets. The back 3, Jurrien Timber, the first new sign we got in. Wolves at home, obviously a fantastic fixture on paper. He's definitely going to be there. Dan Burn in the Tyne-Wear derby. This one could go either way. I'm truly not sure. Obviously, you'd imagine on paper Newcastle have got the stronger team, but it is away at Sunderland, and it is the first time we've seen a Tyne-Wear derby for a long time in the Premier League. So yeah, this one could be quite heated, could be quite spicy as well. So anything can happen in those type of games. I have currently got Trevor Chalobah in there. Obviously, he's got Everton at home, which on paper is a really nice fixture. Obviously, there is the move that I'm looking to make, which is bringing Hincapié in. It just depends if it's for Chalobah this week or if it's for Chris Richards / Daniel Munoz. We'll have to wait and see. If I do bring Hincapié in and, Trevor Chalobah stays there, I'll probably just end up benching Dan Burn for this game. But right now, that is what my defence is looking like. Then we come on to the 5 midfielders. We'll start off with the 2 Brunos first. Bruno G, like I said, very spicy game against Sunderland, but he is going to be in there. This could be a game for DEFCONs, could be a game for a goal as well, so we'll leave him there. Bruno Fernandes has got Bournemouth, a little bit of a trickier game. I do, with Bruno Fernandes, he's someone that for me, you just set and forget. You just put him in your team and just leave him there, let him tick over, let him just accumulate his DEFCONs. He's on penalties, got assist threat as well, so yeah, I do like him, and I would just leave him there personally. Foden against Crystal Palace. Now, again, Palace is a very difficult fixture, especially because they are going away to Selhurst Park. But with the form Phil Foden's in, I do actually think he's an outside captaincy shout as well this week, which is, quite a big thing. Obviously, going against Haaland is very difficult, and we'll probably talk about that in my final team selection later on in the week about captaincy, but I think Phil Foden does offer upside in this game week, especially just because of the form he's in. Declan Rice at home to Wolves. Again, for me, this should be a game where Arsenal just control the ball, control the game. Obviously, set pieces, Declan Rice taking free kicks, some corners as well. He does have open play threat as well, does get into the box a few times, so I do like him and his upside. Elliot Anderson is starting for me in the midfield. Now, if I do make a third or fourth transfer, he probably will end up being benched for whoever I bring in. So he's just going to stay there for now. And then, of course, up front, Erling Haaland and Igor Thiago. Both of them, Haaland's obviously the best striker in the league. Thiago's in good form at the moment. Is there a potential captaincy shout away from Haaland this week with a Thiago, with a Foden? Potentially. Like I said, we'll talk about that later on in the transfer plans in the week. But I do think for now, Haaland will hold my captaincy, but that could change as the week gradually goes on. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed it, please don't forget to drop a thumbs up and subscribe down below. I'll be back tomorrow with an FPL challenge video. Then of course we'll be back later on in the week, either a Wednesday, maybe a Thursday, for a final team selection video where we talk about DEFCON. We'll go over what my team's looking like, any transfers that I've made throughout the week, and a whole lot more as well. So as always, thank you all so much for watching this video. Thank you so much for the recent support as well. You guys have been subscribing, you've been liking the video, so I'm really, really appreciative and grateful for that. But as always, I will see you guys tomorrow, and I'll catch you on the next one.